bursts out.
FY's no
and now
TP.
FY trapped in the trees. He has the boulder smash. The rolling boulder's ready. And it's going to be a decent one back to the tower. Gets him out safely.
That's the high priority Darkseer kill, though. The most farmed hero in the game. Going down. And Lycan getting credited the kill, so some nice kind of catch-up money going DHR's way. And
I think he spent his gold, though. The mech is nearly complete.
Yeah, he's
actually, he's got it. He's got everything.
Wow, yeah, very fast mech with arcane boots already.
We'll have to see how effective it is. We saw Xiao 8 with a super fast mech on the Doom earlier, and it did nothing. But if used well, we know how potent this item can be.
Yeah, Mikasa needs to look to level up Exorcism ASAP, because having the mech at this timing, you want to start taking objectives, 5-manning around the gyrocopter who has his drums as well, so...
DDC's looking on the mid lane. He gets the stun off here on Ditya Ra. The rolling boulder comes through, then the kickback, smashing Ditya Ra, and the finger from DDC secures the kill. There's the counter shackle, focus fire now as well, and while that's happening in the bottom lane, a tower will drop. Dendi strikes back though, and they look for a bit more. FY power shot, not quite enough, he barely survives, and then the Oracle nuke comes in, securing a second kill. I mean, Dendi and Seneko really throwing this team on their backs after a horrific start. NaVi do end up losing the tower, but you can see the experience is actually in their favor, though they're down a bit of gold.
Sneaker's just ridiculously good at Oracle. The previous play more impressive than that one, but even there, it's just like he knows how to push his hero to the limit, secure those extra kills, maximize the damage output that he can do, and looks like he may try and smoke up with General. Yeah, he backs off.
Last smoke in a long
was nearby, but doesn't have vision of... Okay, didn't actually see the area where they were standing, so... I think there's not... Okay, Venge actually used his smoke as well. So they, shoot through 3 smokes in the last 2 minutes.
They have none for a while, I believe, unless I'm missing one on the courier here. But they're going to run into the whole Vici team. That's not where we want to be. Mikasa gets surged, but he just runs away from NaVi. Wrong direction. Now the cooldown coming through. General scatters to the north. Seneco's going to try to keep him alive with the false promise. They will lose one. General likely to drop next if they can just lock him down. There is a Lion stun. It connects. Follow-ups there from the Iron Shell. And General, too, will drop. NaVi not only losing 2 heroes, but also their last smoke for how long is it going to be? 8 minutes, God. So
that's like
Vici have a lot of breathing room.
Your last smoke you use turns into both those 2 heroes dying. When you're the ones kind of slightly ahead, that's a really bad. And it was just unfortunate because Vici were actually grouping up as 4 or 5 at their tier 2 tower of all places because they wanted to smoke. So in a lot of ways, it was just a bit unlucky for NaVi. They were trying to find a single pick-off using a 2-hero smoke, but VGR were just grouped up. They want to fight. They want to fight.
But they have the wolves here on the tree line. They might get vision in time to turn this one around. Ditya quick to morph with the shapeshift, but the rolling boulder comes out as FY goes for the big dive. He does get the kick, magnetized to point on to 2. Ditya scurrying back. Can Seneko save him? It's going to be close. Lower and lower he goes. The magnetize finishes the job, and Seneko will end up dropping. He didn't have the false promise, nor did he have any earned charges left from the looks of things. So Seneko, too, will fall. 3 more NaVi heroes hitting the deck. Vici Gaming exploding upwards in net worth after that little exchange. And
great plays coming out.
Now the game is firmly in their hands for the next 5 minutes at least.
FY is 2-2-12 on Earth Spirit.
14 out of 15 kills the man has been a part of.
I mean, Darkseer 12 of the 15, but yeah, FY has been the player of the match so far. He's looking for more at bottom lane. He's hit a boulder smash in art style. Another kill going VGR's way. The only good news is that this Death Prophet has been shut down. Mikasa actually got solo killed by Beastmaster mid while that bottom fight was going on, so his woes continue, but the Vici Reborn side is doing their best to put Mikasa on their back, as they should. He's the stand-in, he's the coach, he's telling his team, come on guys, just lift me up here.
What do we know? Maybe he's the one calling all the shots in-game. He's captaining from the mid lane on the Death Prophet.
Yeah, he's busy captaining. It's like forgets his heroes there. It's like you're playing a Chen and you're too busy microing your creeps, forget to micro your hero, but the end result is that your creeps do a whole lot more than your hero does. And
yeah, we have heard FY's pretty quiet in-game, so maybe it's Mikasa picking up the slack here. Who knows? But either way, things still looking good for Vici Gaming, and they just saw Ditya shapeshift on cooldown. It's got a pretty long cooldown at level 1, and they might catch him out. FY with the Invisor and leading the charge as he so often has. He find the wolves, Ditya into the trees, and FY there to scout him out. Are they going to make their move on this? Yet just waiting for ZYF to get in range. There's the silence, the kick forward for the boulder smash onto Ditya. Everything connects, and again, Vici Gaming striking. You can hear the crowd trying to get another chant going, but
they get loud and
they're
then suddenly
basically chanting for Vici as the way the game's going.
Every time they start their chants, it's like VGR suddenly get a kill or two, and then they quickly go quiet, LD. This is not being the game number 2 that NaVi were hoping for.
So with no smokes for at least a couple minutes, down 5,000 gold, which is bad but not outrageously so, and mostly just feeling like you're on the back foot, what is the play for NaVi?
Well, Dendy seems to think it's to go for Roshan. They've kind of poked their way in there. Radiant Vision not at the Roche pit. There's one in the lane here, but if they can get away with this, it puts themselves in a good position here, because Dendy with this Maelstrom build is still very squishy. It's not like he can just lead the game right now, and NaVi, their initiation comes from a Beastmaster who's been shut down. 1, 4, and 3 general is not really in a great spot to start controlling the tempo of this game.
Oh man, this is big for NaVi though. If you look at how strong Vici's 5-man is now with a Blink on DDC, the Darkseer, a completed Vanguard, and level 4 Vacuum in 15 minutes, that's an instant team wipe if NaVi get caught. So they roll the dice, and it pays off.
Kind of risk NaVi need to get back in this game, and with that, they almost complete the mech on Artstyle's Venge. Necro 1 is up for General, so things start looking a little bit brighter for this NaVi side. They will be going from multiple Necro books. They're going to kind of put together this big creep army, and for NaVi, the comeback will come very quickly. All it takes is one good fight, and then they'll quickly take multiple towers because of the pushing power that their draft has. So to get that good fight, I think the key kind of tools are going to be Blink Daggers to initiate with. I wouldn't be surprised to see General go for the Blink before leveling up the Necro book. Similarly, I think Dendy's next time is going to be the Blink Dagger. Unless he really feels too squishy, there is the Aghanim Scepter option. He's going to pick up a point booster? No. Okay, so yeah, it looks like he'll rush a Blink, not go for the point booster.
It really feels like the Dendy item of choice. We used to see a Shadow Fiend and preferred the flashier items, so Ags will be a part of the build.
Even the old Invokers, before, like, when everyone was not even really going Blink, before Blink was like the item to go, he would go like Blink, 4-staff as his 2 items on Invoker for pure mobility. He just loved to have that extra bit of flashiness.
Well, so far it has paid off over the course of this series, but Vici Gaming patiently accruing their big team fight composition and the items that come along with it. BKB now up for ZYF. Just the basic drums for Mikasa. So rocking the double bongos for the time being. And I guess, Gods, we are going to see a Crimson Guard. You're up against a lot of summons and damage sources. Also pretty nice to have against Focus Fire. They will be getting some damage block, and
yeah.
It's one of the best games I can imagine for it.
Fantastic game for it, and anything to help Mikasa stay alive. So it's like the mech, the Crimson Guard, these team fight tools for the Death Prophet.
Where's the medallion? It feels like a virtually forgotten item with the nerfs, but maybe this is the Solar Crest game.
Perhaps I don't know who buys it. Absolutely, if you had
Mikasa buys it for himself.
If there was like a medallion that was dropped on the ground, someone would be like, yeah, okay, I'll pick it up and use it, but no one wants to spend the money for it.
Doesn't feel that good. Oh, they find art style. Bottom lane, probably the ideal hero to tank this gank, but it is still a free pick off. Vici Gaming Reborn will collect it, and they're in prime position to push here. Though they're lacking one key piece, and that would be the Gyrocopter. He's holding serve top lane. General pushing that one out. So Vici will move in. There's the TP. Beastmaster wants to join the fray, and now Yang looking to back off, gets slightly blocked by the Wolves. How far do they want to go? FY rolling away.
This is a full evacuation here. NaVi have realized.
Oh, Dendy! He cuts the cords to the lifeboats, and he looks for Yang. The roar comes through. They're going to bring him down. Darkseer tumbles, and Mikasa, with the exorcism going, has to run from the big bad wolf. Ditya Ra chewing through him. The Oracle's going to finish him. Oh, not quite, actually. Didn't get the kill. False Promise committed. A fast frog still chasing forward. Turns back into the wolf. Gobbles him up. Now onto DDC. No, going to turn back and look for FY, who got up the Magnetize as well as just a single boulder. It won't be enough for any kills. 3 for NaVi, but they do lose Dendy. Finished off on the retreat. It was the DDC finger, I believe, that secured that one.
DDC throws the finger at the end. Gyrocopter just not being there. And VGR, if they hide the fact that Gyro's not there and NaVi are worried about Gyro's appearance with his BKB, then yeah, NaVi aren't going to chase him. But NaVi caught vision of End and then just made a full commitment to the fight.
Oh, art style. He has a swap here. Vici Gaming, though, with Tears respawning soon, are very confident. Yang's back in the fray. Art style looks like he's going to sack himself. He tries for a clever swap out. Won't happen, but DDC
the summons, though. Yeah.
Got chewed up by the Wolves in the end.
Even that is not the the best follow-up for VGR, getting that one-for-one support trade. They commit all their heroes upon respawn, as well as End's gyrocopter there. So I think End made a bit of a mistake previously, staying in that top lane as NaVi, as VGR pushed that bottom lane, and NaVi just found themselves an opportunity to defend with gyrocopter not being there.
You've gone BKB rush. This is the item you get to team fight. You know, if you want to farm, you often see the Dominator, maybe even an S and Y, but this is the build for 5-man. He wasn't there. It was a 4-man.
Exactly. He's the hero also most equipped to be team fighting right now, next to like the Darkseer. The Darkseer and the Gyrocopter, the two most important pieces of the puzzle. Earth Spirits always want to be there as well, but if there was one hero you told me who could be top farming and not fighting, I would say make it be Mikasa. Even though he's the hero that can break and siege towers, he's underfarmed, he needs to catch up, and probably is the squishiest hero that offers the least in a team fight. But more than anything, VGR should just be grouped as 5. They don't need to have one hero elsewhere on the map.
Well, they're going to leave DDC mid, but they've got the four biggest heroes aggressively pushing the bottom lane. They are going to get the tower, though it might come at the cost of DDC. Scouted out by the Hawk now. And Ditya quickly morphing is going to try to commit here. They get the tower, they get a shackle, they're going to look for ZYF, they get him as well. And then DDC, it's a twofer. And that was all the Hawks seeing the Lion and preventing Vici from finding even a single kill.
And Dendi gets the blink shackle to make sure Gyrocopter can't get off BKB. They burst him down in time. NaVi just out executing VGR right now.
They found more. Dendi again, it was the Hawk, and this time from the high ground isn't enough for the kill. Mikasa so low, finished off. General completes it, but look for FY to try and turn this out. Magnetize deployed, and it's pretty much on the entire NaVi squad. FY getting swapped back in, and Artstyle wants to finish it, but FY might have the last word. No, that final arrow from the Archer does it. A lot of magnetized damage, but not quite enough for the kills. 4 for 1, and Dendi has been on fire this game with the shackle shots. He's looking for another. Ooh, yang, that was a close one.
I mean, FY did 3,000 hero damage. Unfortunately, it was spread wide throughout the NaVi squad, and no one was there to help clean up. Gyrocopter being dead just meant that the cleanup crew wasn't available.
They have not gotten value out of this Gyrocopter. Still a 10-second BKB, and there have been ample opportunities to use it, whether it was the fight bottom that he didn't attend, the fight mid where he never got to use it.
It's crazy because he was so involved, and they got huge value out of the hero up until he had the BKB, but since farming it, he's just not, they've not been able to work together well as a team. He got caught out there in the mid lane, as you said, and then the top lane where he wasn't involved is led to VGR finding themselves in a bit of a bad position all of a sudden. They had a big lead early on, about 5,000 net worth, but it swung right back the way of NaVi, who are in a great position to secure the next Roshan as well.
Solution, throw that BKB on the ground and kill it. It's bad luck. Not sure we're going to see that. He's going to stick with bad luck and Magic Community for now over Karma.
It's the 5-man for VGR. This is where they're strongest, and this is what they've just... I think they've probably evaluated the game and said, look, it's not the most efficient play. We're not going to get much XP or farm, but this will take objectives, and this is... We keep splitting up, and we keep giving NaVi kills with these Dendi shackle shot initiations. So we're just going to make sure we remain grouped up at all costs.
Yeah. They're playing it safe here. Commit the Exorcism. Will take down the tier 2, but NaVi on the split push now. General working through the bottom lane. Has the TP ready.
And that's the game plan for NaVi. Anytime VGR force the 5-man tower siege with an Exorcism, you send General to a side lane to push out the lane. You send Ditya to a side lane if possible. And then when VGR fall back, that's when you look to make your play, which possibly could be an aggressive smoke here from NaVi. They're in a good position to go on the offensive, and they're ready to make their move. Both teams smoked as 5.
They have a Veil. It's always a good item with Earth Spirit, but with Gyro, Lion, and Darkseer, this is some serious value.
Imagine if he had that last fight, he may have actually just got like almost a team wipe on his own.
Solo.
That 3k hit damage he did would have turned quickly into 4,000 to 4,500 damage.
Yeah, could have been the total swing of momentum, but let's see if they find a good initiation here, as Vici Gaming Reborn are also smoked there. Heading towards the bottom lane. Ditya own smoke will expire, but the Wolf gives them that free intel. And I don't think there's any detection here on NaVi. No gem for the time being.
VGR, though. They've got the Observe sitting right on top of them.
Yeah, VGR, there's the swap to start off, and they find the Darkseer. Crucial pickup, doesn't get off a thing. He's out of the fight, out of the pictures. DDC scatters in the trees. They do finally get to fight with the Gyro, though, who pops the BKB, hammers away at Seneko, juking through the trees, completely outplayed him. He hasn't even got a single kill yet. So far, 3 heroes down. It's about to be 4 with the Earth Spirit very low. It might be a team wipe now. The Gyro does TP away. Committed everything for Seneko and couldn't even get that.
Darkseer unable to mech. He got just the Crimson Guard off in the fight, but that doesn't cut it. He has to get the vacuum wall and also provide the mech for his team. NaVi finding the hero they needed for the initiation, and it all came down to vision. As soon as that smoke wore off, NaVi had the ward right above the Roshan pit, which saw the exact positioning of the Vici Gaming Reborn side, and it just set them up for success.
This, honestly, this game, way more than any of the others in this tournament, feels like that old NaVi gods when they weren't necessarily practicing that much. Not to say this team isn't, but you know they would be sloppy at times. They would overextend, but then they might be down, but they just seem to have like ridiculous fight after ridiculous fight, almost magical. Like, just how did they win that? It seems like the same thing here, where Vici had the perfect items to 5-man, the better team fight on paper, but every time NaVi's getting the jump, juking through the trees, stalling, and just pulling something out of nothing.
Yeah. Initially, it was like the gyrocopter not being there was something we kind of harped on a little bit, but NaVi are finding the opportunities and creating like magic out of nothing when they're the ones who are supposed to be behind, unable to take a team fight. They just take they take these chances and they're making it work. They now find themselves in a very sizable lead, and VGR have got to be kind of questioning what the next play is going to be. NaVi don't have smokes left, but VGR in the same position. Often when you're in often when you find yourselves here, you want to try and just go for that big 5-man smoke, try and catch NaVi by surprise, but that's just not available to VGR.
Yeah, and the items are starting to come out now for NaVi, who have really turned in terms of the gold lead, and we see it now reflected in the inventories. The double Necro book you mentioned, a mech for Artstyle to go with his own drum, and I think most importantly, General with a blink and another 2,500 gold. So the BOTs could be coming out now. Potentially something that's a little more 5-man oriented. We'll see what the choice is, but they are getting map control, and they're feeling confident.
Yep. And so everyone's got farm. Like your supports, you've got a mech drums on one of your supports. You've Oracle's got the Earn Arcanes, and soon can either buy a solo crest or something else. He has the medallion, has the money for the solo crest. We'll see what Seneko decides to go for, but.
So what do you do now if you're Vici Gaming Reborn? Like, you have this crazy 5-man team fight, but every time NaVi's getting the advantage on you. Yeah. How do you fix that?
Yang needs a blink. He needs to make sure he's never getting caught at the start of the fight. That last fight just came down entirely to the vision and the positioning. It wasn't so much Yang doesn't know he's in a bad position until he finds NaVi behind them with the smoke. But
so do they need a gem to deal with the wolves? Is this just about wards?
Gem becomes essential for them at some point. So yes, gem they do need. They need a blink dagger on Yang to allow him to get better initiations off, and they just need to be more careful with him sitting further back. Have the Death Prophet, well, I guess not Death Prophet, she's too squishy. Just have the gyrocopter on the front lines and be ready to back him up with the Darkseer initiation.
Vici Gaming Reborn, it looks like they're no longer confident in taking fights outside the base, especially not into an Aegis. Dendi also with a bottled double damager, and on the back of it, NaVi will take the last outer tower of the game for Vici Gaming Reborn. They've still got one remaining in this top lane to take down, but they're not pushing right now. It's all NaVi on the aggression, and they are looking for an opening here. Artstyle posting up ultra.
It's so hard to initiate too, because you've got 2 defensive supports with the swap on the Venge as well as the Oracle having the false promise. Both of these can be used to save the front line.
You wanted the blink on the Darkseer. Vici Gaming have it. NaVi yet to scout it. This could be the opening. Yang just barely poking his head out. We'll see if this really prompts a reaction. They are pretty clumped up here. 4 heroes fairly close together, but Seneko's sitting back.
And if you're NaVi, the disciplined way to siege this is with...
They're looking to go. There's the first boulder smash. It's not a connection, but it does prompt a DRR BKB.
I mean, very safe play. This is the thing. NaVi is showing a lot more caution anytime they get these leads, and that was just over-caution from DRR. Something... It's better that NaVi be over-cautious than too risky in their play, so I don't mind that too much, but definitely an unnecessary BKB, and they probably should have found themselves in a position to be able to get the tier 3 tower there. Double damage on Dendi's Wind Ranger when he's got an Aegis and can just siege the high ground with the swap or the false promise to back him up, but They decide, okay, BKB wastes on Lycan, let's not risk anything, let's fall back. Aegis, only a minute left, so unlikely Navi are going to find themselves able to get great value out of this Aegis anymore.
I mean, like you said, you can look at like, I wasted 10-second BKB for nothing, that's really bad, but there's that like 5% chance that he gets caught out, doesn't BKB, Vici Gaming have a crazy team fight, and suddenly your advantage is totally wiped. Yeah. So it's maybe worth it just in terms of safety.
If there's one thing we've kind of seen time and time again with this Navi squad right now is that they will slow roll things when they get the lead, and it's been a very much a change in mentality, which has kind of been a key part of their return to success here in Kiev. So they'll continue the formula that's been working for them and regroup once again towards this top lane. But with Aegis expiring, it doesn't look like they'll find themselves in a position to siege high ground with an Aegis, and without it, I think more likely we see them just try and maintain map control. They've got the Hawk Vision, they've got the Lycan Wolves. They have the access to the entire map as far as farm goes. DTRI is farming a double stack at the Radiant Ancients. The Radiant side, you've got 5 heroes, all of them sitting inside the high ground of their own base. So realistically, Navi is ahead, and they will continue to get further and further ahead, even if they don't go for a push.
You look at the net worth chart, and this gyrocopter for ZYF, it is atop it, but it's the death prophet of Mikasa. It's one thing to be behind gods, but he is in the gutter. Basically there with art style, not too far off of his own supports, only 100 gold ahead of the Earth Spirit, essentially. It just doesn't seem like Mikasa's going to be hero this game. He's gone for the 31-minute Ghost Scepter because, you know, what else can he really buy? But it honestly feels like it's going to be 4v5 in these fights.
I'm sure MVP are probably like watching this game and kicking themselves like, why didn't we just focus on bullying the mid lane? Like their overall strategy, they tried to play aggressive and just got punished for it, but they should just focus all that aggression mid.
Vici Gaming, they're daring to leave the base. They're going to commit here onto Dendi, but BKBs, turns, works on Yang. There is an MKB up on end, but can he finish off Dendi? Doesn't look like he blinks out. Kept alive by Seneko. Great support play here, and now they may turn back onto ZYF, getting bit by the wolf and doesn't like it very much. He bleeds out. That's 3. Make it 4 as the Lion also drops instant buyback. But this might be all she wrote. Darkseer, again, not getting off the wall. Again, Navi counterplaying Vici Gaming Reborn perfectly.
And even the BKB Gyro, he goes down. The physical damage with the Venge Lycan is too much. They're going to try and counter this. Great shackle from Denji,
shackle, beautiful stuff. ZYF's next. He's down for the count. 80 seconds on the sideline. A severe thrashing at the hands of Navi. And where LGD succeeded here earlier today, it seems Vici Gaming Reborn are very close to being thwarted. That Death Prophet just bought back. Surprised she even had the gold for it, but that just further rubs salt in the wound.
Doesn't have the gold for much else anymore, so Dendi Boss
that's one way of looking at it.
Pushing his muscle around this game. We're going to see 7, 3, and 14 on him. He's been hitting incredible shackles all game long, and
yeah, look at that.
Oh yeah,
sick stuff from
them skills. Odd shot that one, guys.
That was a wow.
Yeah. So general refresher orb on Beastmaster. Times are looking tough for VGR from here. There isn't really a great comeback plan for them. Death Prophet, just one of those heroes that isn't able to farm or fight your way back into the game when you're just in this position.
Well, they look comfortable now. And I mean, like you said, this Navi has been very disciplined, yet to actually fully break the base. But they're getting the pieces to ensure that even if they screw up a fight, it'll be hard for Vici Gaming to make much of it. Boots of travel now in the Lycan, so the ability to push out a lane and then come to the fight, ensuring everything's at the Radiant base is now there.
Yep. Gone are the days when Navi dive you at your tier 3 towers when you still have tier 1 towers up. It is a Navi with a 15k gold lead and no racks down. I feel like anytime Navi had a greater than 10k gold lead, they would have almost always have taken a racks by that point.
And it's just crazy because it was actually Alliance who did that today, and Alliance historically would be the team that would do the opposite and play it super safe, super stable. But here we go. Could be the last fight of the game. Dendi from the low got the 2-hero shackle once more. He's working on the gyrocopter, trying to pound through the DPS of End, and he'll do it. Now turning for more, and GG is the call. Navi 2-0. Looking dominant versus Vici Gaming Reborn.
The crowd on their feet. They have been revitalized. Navi and the Kiev audience are getting behind this story right now.
You know, at first it seemed silly. The crowd cheers, NaVi, NaVi, NaVi. A NaVi hero dies. They do it again, 3 die. But they just kept on fighting, kept on persevering, and sooner or later, they broke through. They just outplayed Vici Gaming,